I joined the 14th semi-annual Pirate Software Game Jam that ran in January of 2024. For those who don't know, a game jam is an event where game developers compete with each other to make a game prototype in a very short amount of time, ranging usually somewhere between 1 day and 2 weeks. For most game jams, the prize pools are not really worth the effort even if you win. It's more about showcasing your skills, bragging rights, and the potential of winning the game dev lottery and having a game idea that you can take from a prototype to a fully released title. This was my first game jam and I was super excited. I had been developing my own game engine for a little over a year, and I thought this would be a great opportunity to put all my hard work out there on display and see how I held up to other newbie game devs in a friendly competition. I learned a lot from this experience, and I wanted to make this video to help other aspiring game developers who might be thinking of joining a game jam. First mistake: I read the rules too early. Back in December of 2023, I went to the Game Jam page on itch.io and read all the rules. This was about 3 to 4 weeks before the Game Jam officially started. This was good because it gave me ample time to see how I would need to submit the game for judging and to test deploy a game I had already made. However, my mistake was that I didn't read the rules after the Game Jam started. The rules changed during the lead-up period, and it changed so drastically that if I would have known the new rules, I wouldn't have competed in the Game Jam and joined another instead, and here's why. Originally, the usage of pre-existing assets was prohibited, so any music, art, or game logic that you created beforehand could not be used. But they decided to change all that. For me, being a newbie game dev with my own engine, who has no pre-existing assets, this really put me in an impossible situation to compete, especially against teams of 5 who all have full use of any assets that they already created or purchased in the past. As the old rules stated, I thought it was a flex of personal skill, not personal wallet size. I could have avoided this if I paid attention to their Discord notifications, or if I would have just double-checked the rules right after it started. It's like I showed up to a fire starting competition with 2 sticks, and everyone else brought flamethrowers. Second mistake: graphics matter way more than I thought. This might be obvious to some, but if the game doesn't have at least one cool visual hook, it's not going to get rated well. This surprised me because to me, graphics are secondary to gameplay, but for the judges, games that were more simple or had no levels or weren't even playable got rated pretty high because it looked good. My game only had a couple custom textures that used only basic translation and resizing animations. I really believe that my same game with a few simple particle effects would have felt more alive and would have gotten much higher in the ranking. I don't think it's likely you can win with a gameplay loop alone. You need some graphical sizzle. Because of this, I am adding full 3D support in my game engine so I can take better advantage of the power on the GPU, which in hindsight I really should have just gone for to begin with. Third mistake: believing that I could outwork the other competitors. During the 2 weeks of the Game Jam, I worked every waking moment outside my day job on my game. I don't think anyone could have put more hours in unless it was their only project or they were getting less than 6 hours of sleep. One thing that became obvious as I started playing the other submissions is that the people who were more experienced were able to run circles around me. One guy said he had been developing for 3 years and it was their 6th game jam, and his game was so far beyond anything I could do with my engine in 2 weeks. It really showed me how dedicated some people are and how much more of the mountain I needed to climb. Fourth mistake: the final product is all that matters. Outside of a few people in the Game Jam chat, no one cares how your game is made. Even though we were required to do a game development document along with our submission with all the tech we used, I don't think they were used in judging at all. For a competition like this, it really comes down to how efficiently you can put together your game loop and how easy it is to integrate your visual resources. If you spend 10 years making your own game engine or 10 minutes learning UDK or Unity, it really makes no difference. The game that is output is all that people see. Wrapping up, I don't want this video to sound like I regret doing the Game Jam. I am glad I did it. I learned a lot, and the game I made, Rhythm Bucket Brigade, would not exist in this universe without committing to doing so. In the end, it was a very good thing and a valuable learning experience. Alright, that's it for now. Hopefully you found this information useful. I am new to this YouTube thing, so any feedback is greatly appreciated. If you like video game development related content, please subscribe to my channel. If you want to hear music that I make, please check out my other channel, Funk Reaper. Thanks.